Back over to Brad Lawler, Home Team Inspection Service. Tommy has a fairly new house. He's writing in this email that he sent us that he bought it about a year ago. He's monitoring the humidity. Also, he says it's gone from 35 to 70% in the past few months. So, Tommy, you and others seem to be having this problem. Brad, is a dehumidifier, besides having your HVAC checked? Tommy wants to know if buying a dehumidifier would help in
So
reducing, yeah.
Yeah, so in some cases, dehumidifiers do help. Where I would start though is I would start to make sure that you're getting those twice a year services with a great HVAC, company that like and trust. Start there. Let them service the system. They can tell you things that can be tuned up. Some systems are just, because of the age of the equipment, the houses may just be holding higher levels of humidity. Nothing wrong with a dehumidifier. Just know though that if you get one that has the tank, you have to empty that tank out. Once the tank fills up, and some fill up very, very quickly, the system will shut down. So some people think that it's just to set it and forget it. So make sure if you do buy the dehumidifier, you know what the system is. Does it have a hose that goes into a drain? Well, how is it set up? Because those are all important considerations in that. The other thing is you need to make sure you know what area you're trying to dehumidify, because those are only good for, say, 1,500 square feet for the bigger ones. So that may not be adequate for, a lot of basements, in our area. You may have to have a couple of those units. So you really have to take that into consideration as well. And they do use electricity. They're not particularly energy efficient in what they're doing. So, keep that in mind too.
Yeah, one thing, I had the same problem, and I bought a dehumidifier. Now I have a radon evacuation system, mitigation system, so it's sealed into the sump pump where I would normally drain that
Right.
water from the tank. So what I did was I took the tubing and I actually put it into where the condensate
Yes.
pump is for the HVAC. So the dehumidifier takes the water out of the air, it dumps it into the condensate pump, which is next to the HVAC system. And then the pump inside, when that little well fills up, pumps it up and out. Where it goes, I don't know, but I do need to find that out probably. So that's a path, folks. If you have a radon mitigation system and it's sealed, the sump pump is sealed, hopefully you have some sort of condensate pump that you can actually, there are like 3 or 4 holes at the top of that pump that you can put your tube into. Right, Brad? Good.
Yeah, exactly. Or you may have a pan. Yeah, there's different ways. Yes, the condensate pump is a good way to